Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another Star Wars Unlimited weigh-in rips, right? We got the new set, Jump to Lightspeed, coming out, and I decided to open up one Carbonite booster box and see, can we kind of guess what the contents are based off of the weights.
Welcome to Eric's Random YouTube channel.
So it's the Monday post pre-release weekend, right? The game pre-release started this past Friday. I went to one, and the video you guys are just about to watch, right, is me post pre-release, that first one that I went to, opening up one of my Carbonite booster boxes that I have, weighing the contents, right, trying to make a guess. So I will say, spoiler, you can weigh out to a degree what you have in there, but what also I did in this case right here is I took the current pre-sale prices, right? So let's take that into consideration when looking at it, right, and seeing like what the total value of the Carbonite booster box was. So I'll check back in with you guys post, pack opening. So we've got ourselves a Carbonite edition box right here. I have a few of them, but I just came back from my pre-release. I went 2-in-1, played Kaz Yellow or Kaz Red. It was fun, right? Pilots are incredibly brutal and limited, so whatever. My tip is, if you're going to be going to any kind of pre-release event or running limited or whatever for this set, any kind of upgrade hate that you find, keep it, play it, do not resource it. One game, the one that I lost, they put an IG-88 on their like land speeder that they had on the ground, and I just had no ground units that could take care of that. And the thing that was unfortunate was that I'd had one of those, one of the red upgrade hate cards, right? The one where it's like defeat a non-leader upgrade and then deal 1 damage to the unit. I resourced it the turn that he played the IG-88, and it sucked. I just couldn't recover from it, and we were playing best of 1, so there was no way for me to really sideboard anything in, which is fine. But I went 2-in-1, so I was pretty happy with that. It went really well. It was a lot of fun. Pulled the ghost, go Hera. But didn't play it. I went right because I didn't play blue. But that's fine. Anyways, you guys are watching because we're doing another edition rate of weigh-in rips. I've got my scale right here. I've got the Carbonite edition boxes, so we can kind of see, is it possible to weigh the hits from one of these, right? And kind of figure out, like, the big things are that they can have a showcase, they can have foil prestige, or they could have a serialized prestige, right? And so all three of those are probably going to alter the weights in of the packs. What I'm going to do is weigh all of them, I think, first, kind of set them aside in order, because I also kind of want to see, like, is there going to be a collation problem that we're going to see here? People have kind of speculated on that today as more people have opened these boxes, that might be the case, kind of what we had seen with set 1 and 2 for Star Wars Unlimited, but we'll see, right? I'll try and keep track as best as I can here, right? So I'm wearing gloves because in case I do pack a serialized card, I don't want to mess it up with like the oils on my fingers and stuff like that, just right, because those are going to be typically more valuable in those cases, right? But I'm expecting there to be weight differences, right, where you can weigh the packs. One thing that I'm doing slightly different with this season, I guess you can say, of weigh-in rips with Star Wars Unlimited is I have my analytical scale, right, that goes down to 1/1000th of a gram. I also went and I bought this very cheap, I think it was like $18 on Amazon scale, right? It's very simple. Unfortunately, it's not really going to pick up terribly well in this case. One thing too, I thought it was advertised as being 1,500 grams, and I was like, oh, that can hold a lot. I can probably weigh, right, a full Carbonite booster on there and kind of get a sense, like, is there something there that you can maybe see? But it's not. It's 1,500 grains. It only goes up to 100 grams, and so I have to make sure that I change it to grams, right? So I have the smaller scale right here too. This one, right, as I said, it goes now down to the hundredths of a gram. That should give us the fidelity that we need to weigh packs, right? It's much more affordable than this heavy scale. It's smaller, it's more compact. And the big reason why I'm doing this is because when I posted the video where I went over like all the results from my set 3 weigh and rips, there was a guy on Facebook that was complaining, saying like, no, you can't weigh them. I tried it, right? They all weigh 32 grams. And I was like, no, they all weigh 32 grams if you have a scale that's really bad, right? And so that's why I was like, let me just see, can I get a cheap one that goes down and has probably enough fidelity to figure out, right, what's going on here. So I'm going to try that out here with the Carbonite edition, right? See how closely these two end up matching. And can you just, essentially use this scale right here to check it out, right? And I'm not advocating buying a scale like this and then going to a store and then weighing out all the Carbonite packs and then choosing whichever one you want, right? It's more along the lines of, can somebody do that? And is the chances of you buying a loose Carbonite pack, right, which is going for what, $25, $30 each individual pack, right? Is there a chance that they're just going to take out all the major hits, right? The serialized and the showcases, right? Those are going to be the two big things that are really going to be valuable. The foil prestige cards, right? They also have some value, depending on the ship and stuff like that, right? But in terms of the actual value, right, for these packs, right, it really just comes out of the increased showcase hit rate, and also the serialized cards. So that's what I'm going to be looking at. So Carbonite edition booster box, display box right here. So let's open it up. Freshly picked up today. And I have my scale over here. And so I'm gonna start off, I'm gonna weigh all of them just to get a baseline of what the average weight is, so that we can figure this out. Move this over here. I don't need to have that there. Oh, right. So I got that right there, right? So we've got, right, and so I'm gonna start off similar to how I've done it before. I'm trying to find a good spot, right? Yeah, right here, right? So I'm gonna take out all of these guys right here, right? I've got this set, I've got this set right here, and let's go ahead and start weighing them. So I'm going to weigh them just to figure out what baseline weight on these should be, and then based off of the weights, try to see what is the right, which one of these, start making guesses, right? Is it going to be a foil pack? Is it going to be a showcase pack? Is it going to be a serialized? Is it going to be a combination type pack, right? Because I'm expecting showcases to still be about 300 milligrams heavier than a normal pack, right? If the foiling on prestiges are similar, I mean, I've seen them now in person and everything like that. They don't look similar. There's a little bit more there, but if the weight of them is about the same difference, right, that comes out to being 150 milligrams, right? Serialized cards, because they have like that additional texture and stuff like that that goes with them, it may be a little bit more, but I don't know, right? And that's why I'm doing this, to kind of get that sense. So let's start it off. So we have our first pack right here. I'm gonna put this on here. So this one is kind of similar-ish in weight. There's a lot of jumping around. All right, it could very well be, right, because I am wearing these gloves, that the pack weights are going to be annoying. Yeah. So let's tear it again. Let's use the gun to remove the static. It's very boring. All right, so let's try it again. But interestingly enough, I guess. All right. These are pretty similar-ish in weights. So 32.371 grams. That's the first one. So let's see, right, if we weigh this, right, this should come out to being 32.37 on this scale. Interesting. It's a little different. Let's tear it again. Let's try 32.44. So I guess, right, one thing here, I should probably make a second column. I mean, one thing, right, you always want to have is the scale, right? There's precision and accuracy, right? Precision is where all the results are clumped together, right? They all come in together. They may not be the actual results, right? The correct result necessarily, but at least all of them are together. And then you have accuracy, right? Where you have maybe one or two that are the correct result, right? But then everything else is all over the place, right? Ultimately, you want to have accuracy and precision to be the same. But I would say in this case right here, you're kind of, I'm primarily aiming for precision, right? I'm aiming for, even though there's a bit of a difference, right? A 50 milligram difference or so, 60 milligram difference between these two scales, that the big thing really is going to be that they're going to stay consistent with each other. So we've got that one. Let's see what this next one is. So this one comes in at a little bit heavier, right? So 32.443 grams. Let's see on the new scale, this one is now 32.50. Yeah, it looks like in terms of the, they're going to be slightly different in terms of what the exact weights are, but they will, I think, 32.475 grams. They'll at least be consistent with each other, which is all that matters, right? Because really what you're looking at is differences in weights, right? So this one's going to be 32.54 grams. Oh, this one's a bit heavier, right? So 32.562 grams. Let's see. Let me move these guys out of the way. So this one then comes in at 32.62 grams on this scale. All right, so we're back down to 32.377 grams. This one is now 32.43, right? So pretty similar to what we'd had initially. So 32.478 grams. I know this is like super boring to listen to, 32.53 grams, right? But we're doing this for science, right? So, okay, so that's the first column, right? So I'll just set those back right here. Let's do this one now. So this is the second row. So we're coming in at 32.458 grams. And 32.51 grams. All right, so 32.443 grams. Ooh. And we have, oh, hit the light. 32.49 grams. It's very interesting how the weight is pretty similar-ish, even though, right, there's a lot more foils, there's also all the hyperspace and everything like that. It's only, you know, compared to what I was seeing, the averages were 32.572 grams. Also, very interesting, you know, the repeating pattern that we're seeing here. So 32.63 grams. Right, we're going 37.1, 443, 475, 562, 377, 478, 458, 443, 572. Right there, there's definitely a bit of a pattern in terms of what the weights are, and so, you know, that could very well go back to the collation, right? 32.409. Right, we're back to a lighter pack here, and how that potentially might influence things in terms of where the serialized cards are going to show up, where the foil prestiges are going to show up. I think if anything, right, the showcases are probably going to be the ones that are a little bit more 32.402. All right, this is lighter. I'm very intrigued, right? I mean, these weights are a little bit all over the place. All right, 32.45 and last pack is 32.464 grams. All right, so we've got that, and then we're at, for this scale right here, 32.51 grams, right? So let me just go through, just do a quick difference thing. So if I take new scale minus old scale and I subtract them, right, what we get is values of 59, 57, 65, 58, right? So it's about 50, high 50s, right? Milligram difference between these two scales. It's nothing major, I would say, right? Nothing that I think would throw you necessarily off. So you can probably, I mean, this one right here, I don't think is going to be as accurate as this one in terms of what the weights are. But we don't really care about that, because the goal really is to figure out, right, can you just take a cheap one like this and figure out what what the differences are, and you can see the differences in all of those weights, right? I mean, we started off 32.43, 32.5, 32.54, 32.62, 32.43, 32.53, 32.51, 32.49, right? You can see all of those differences in those cases. Now, let's see what the average pack mass is, right? So if we do that I'm going to use the more accurate value, right? Because I care about that more. Or not more accurate, right? I'm going to use the one from the scale right here, right? So the average pack mass is coming in at 32.45. But we're only looking at a very small subset of cards, right? We're looking at 12 packs, whereas when I was able to make all those assumptions last set, right, I think I had looked through like 3 cases. It's going to be very different this time around, right? Because I don't have an infinite amount of money to buy the equivalent amount of packs to do that. So we're going to try and see, right? The data set is going to be a little bit less. It's going to be a little bit less reliable, maybe. But I think just looking at what all of those weights were, right, we're oscillating between, what's the lowest pack weight? Nope, that's not what I'm looking for. What had I used in the past? This is very boring. I mean, it's also Friday night. You're just not on top of it all. Right, it's 10:46, Friday of release day. I promise you guys that my other pack openings are probably going to be much more engaging, because right now I'm just doing a lot of housekeeping, I guess you could say. Oh, wrong thing. For some reason, it's the wrong column for everything. There we go. All right. So lowest pack weight, right, was the first one, came in at 32.371. Highest pack weight was 32.572 grams. So I'm going to go through, right, I'm going to go through the order that everything was in. I'm just going to move all of this stuff over a little bit to right here. And I'm going to reweigh them for this thing, but I just really wanted to get a baseline of what I can expect the weights to be. Right, so we're coming through with a median pack weight of 32.451 grams, right? The average is 32.455. Lowest was 32.371, highest was 32.572, right? And we're having a 60 milligram standard deviation, so to say. So, a lot of fluctuations here. So let's open these and let's see, right, if that fluctuation is just due to the foiling, right? A lot of the fluctuation that we had seen with like the regular packs in the past, or if there is like a definitive trend, we can already from weighing one box, we can see that right there. So let's start it off. Let's go to the actual opening of packs, the more exciting part, right? We're at the 32. This was the 371, right? So this is coming in pretty close. So you go in and so I'm going to expect this one to just be a very vanilla pack. Just, you know, hyperspace leader, regular prestige, nothing too extraordinary, right? Yeah, so we've got Rose Tico in this case right here, right? We've got Landing Shuttle, TIE Bomber, Fight Fire with Fire, Academy Graduate, Red Leader, right? Very cool card, right? We've got all the foils that we're going through right now. Next up, we've got BB-8, very cool. All right, we've got, we pulled the Starhawk, very nice, as in that foil legendary slot right there. That's a cool card, right? We've got the Banshee is our prestige card, right? It's regular prestige. Next up, we've got Contracted Jump Master. And our hyperspace, right? I didn't even realize when I was, during the previews and stuff, right, that there's like the green right there. So this is a very cool animated card, especially as a hyperspace, right? Next up, we've got Covering the Wing, Indoctrinated Conscript, War Juggernaut, a monster of a card in limited, Timely Reinforcements, and then we've got Swarming Vulture Droid is one of our hyperspace foils, and the other one is Timely Reinforcements, right? So only one legendary in this whole box, right? There were people, not box, pack, right? And so that was just simply the Starhawk. Right, there were people that when they posted all of their hits and everything, beforehand, right, people were like predicting that there were going to be like multiple rares and legendaries. It's going to go bananas, and there was just a single one there. So we'll see, right? Is that a fluke? Right, so my rare was the Starhawk, and the prestige was the Banshee, and that's it. All right, next up, right, we've got this pack right here coming in. So this is the one that's at 32.439, right? So I think previously I recorded 32.443, so pretty close. All right, so let's see what this one is. So it's a little bit higher, right, by 70 milligrams. Let's see if that has any kind of impact on what the contents are. Oh, right, so we've got Captain Phasma is our hyperspace leader. We've got Kimigola, or Kimogila Heavy Fighter, Adept Arc 170, Piercing Shot. Somebody had like 2 of these in their deck, and that was just like brutal during my pre-release. We've got R2-D2, a great pilot. We've got Rafa Martez, Admiral Yularen, and then in our rare slot, we've got Nabat Village. Once again, a very disappointing thing that we have bases falling into our rare slots. It's not fun at all. And then we've got Victor Leader as our prestige, right? So nothing out of the ordinary, even though it was slightly heavier in this case, right? We've got Rebellious Hammerhead, Focus Fire, Swarming Vulture Droid. We've got the Chimera, such a beautiful card, right? I pulled a hyperspace foil of this during the draft, and it was really pretty. It's a really good looking card. We've got Stay on Target. We've got Fleet Interdictor, and then we have Red 5, right? Luke's ship as one of the hyperspace foils. So once again, the only card, right, that we got that, right, because this is, well, I guess, right, Victor Leaders are rare, but that doesn't necessarily matter, right? But we got Nabat Village right here, but those were the only, well, I guess, no, yeah, Admiral Yularen is a rare as well. So we got 2 rares in this one, which is slightly better than what we had kind of in the previous one. But again, right, we're not swimming in rares in this case. Let me just write those down. So we've got, so we pulled Yularen and Nabat, and then we pulled Victor Leader as our prestige, but no foiling or anything for that. So interesting. All right, so next up, this one is 42.475, right? Close enough, similar-ish in these cases. And so I'm going to assume then probably nothing special in this one. Right, this one will probably come out to being just a regular prestige, right? Just a regular showcase in these cases. So we've got Rio Durant here as our hyperspace leader. We've got Fet's Fire Spray, right? So this is one of the starter cards that you can get now as foils and hyperspaces and stuff. So that's very nice. We've got Corellian Freighter, All Wings Report In, Techno Union Transport, Stay on Target. We've got Director Krennic, right? Something that's going to be incredibly useful for a lot of the look at that. A lot of those Thrawn decks, right? Because you're really going to want to have a lot of those when defeated cards in there. Next up, right in our rare slot, we've got Targeting Computer. We've got the Rampart as just a regular prestige, right? So just as I predicted in this case. And then we've got Electromagnetic Pulse, Crackshot V-Wing, Commence Patrol, Salvage. We've got the Fireball right here, and then in the back we've got Kijimi Patrollers, and so then we also pulled Hyperspace Foil Boba Fett in this case. And so I'm gonna put the foil ones are always kind of tricky, but that's a nice card to have, right? Very pretty. Hopefully, right, we pull a Boba Fett showcase. All right, so that's 3 packs in. So let's see. So we got what did we all pull? Targeting Computer, right? And I think that was the only rare slot. Yes, we got Targeting Computer. We got the Rampart, and then under the hyperspace foil part, we got Boba Fett. So Victor Leader's cool, right? But I don't know if he's even worth necessarily the price of what the pack would have been if it had been sold individually. So we'll see. All right, so this one 32.562. So I'm gonna guess that this one is one of the ones, yeah, that has a foil prestige in it, right? So just the basic foil prestige. I'm not expecting a showcase. I'm not expecting a serialized card in this one right here, right? I'm going to predict based off of this right here, based off of the trends of what I've seen now, off of 3 packs, that this is only going to be one of the foil prestige cards, which is going to be very disappointing because there's only one other card that falls into the same weight range as this within this box. And so I will be very sad if I only pull 2 foil prestiges in an entire box of Carbonite. So we'll have to see though. So let's see. So we've got So we've got this one right here, right? So we got Wedge as our showcase. We've got Out the Airlock. We've got Twin Laser Turret, Rogue Class Starfighter, Tandem Assault, Dornian Gunship. We've pulled Boshek right here. And then we've got Lightspeed Assault, which is a rare as our foil. And then there we go. There we have it, right? We got the Profundity is our hyperspace or our prestige foil in that case, right? So a very pretty card, right? The foiling on these looks pretty amazing, I would say. Right? And the Profundity is a really good looking card, right? In this case, I'm going to take this, throw that into sleeve, and I'm going to throw that even into a top loader to go one extra. What time is it? It's 11 o'clock. Gotta make sure I wrap this up. Oh man, can't see from a distance. Got new glasses. I don't know if anybody noticed. They're slightly bigger from what they had been in the past. So, all right, but yeah, so we got our Profundity right here. Very pretty card. Let me throw that into here just so that I have it. Profundity, and then we only pulled Lightspeed Assault, which is a rare within the foils. And so then here towards the back, what we have is Desperate Commando, Quasar TIE Carrier, right? We've got Clone Pilot, Captain Tarkin. We got the Banshee. And then we have Hyperspace Foil Contracted Jumpmaster, which looks really pretty, right? It looks like a whole bunch of fireworks for all of those. And then we've got a legendary here. We got Hyperspace Foil Nebula Ignition right there, right? Defeat each unit that isn't upgraded. 9 cost blue. You know, it's not a card that I would ever play in any of my decks. But I can imagine, right, Gar Saxon would probably want to play that maybe as in like a sideboard type thing. Who knows? All right, next up. This one should be 32.377. Yeah. And so I'm going to go ahead and say that this one's just going to be a very vanilla pack. I do think, based off of the trends that we'd seen here, right, pretty much the only other pack that's going to have a prestige foil in it is going to be the one that was 32.572. I don't see... I see the rest of them all just being vanilla packs, right, with hyperspace showcase leaders, right, like we have right here, Lando. We've got Skyway Cloud Car, Onyx Squadron Brute, Rebellious Hammerhead, Resistance Blue Squadron. We've got the Banshee right here. We've got Poe Dameron, very cool. We've got Close the Shield Gate, right? I'm going to the Richmond, what is it, sector qualifiers, right? And I paid for you know, the VIP so that I can get that as a playmat. I'm very excited, right? This is such a cool looking card, and it's such a cool scene too, right? We didn't even pull, right? We got the Shadowcaster here, right, which is a legendary as our base prestige, right? The rare, the Close the Shield Gate, I think is the only rare that we have pulled here again, right? So we got that right there. We've got Shadowcaster, it's a legendary, right? Which, you know, cool. But it's just a base prestige, right? So we got Skyway Cloud Car, System Shock, CR90 Relief Runner. We've got Page Tico, and then as our hype, oh no, we've got Dogfight, and then we've got, you know, K-Turn is one of them, and then the next one is In Debt to Crimson Dawn, right? Is our other hyperspace foil, right? So a single rare with Close the Shield Gates, and then the Shadowcaster, right, is our legendary ship that we pulled in this case right here. So again, not one of those things that is like swimming in legendaries and rares. All right, so this is the one that was 32.477 in this case. So I'm going to say again, it's going to be showcase or hyperspace leader and base prestige card. Right, we got Luke, very cool. There were a whole bunch of people that were running him in at the pre-release, and they did not do that great because he flips on 6, and so people were just like running like Kaz or Vonreg, and they were just like going bananas. Games were going very, very fast, so just keep that in mind when playing in the pre-releases. We've got Indoctrinated Conscript right here. We've got Contracted Jumpmaster, who I've pulled now a few times. We've got Bosk, right, from the starter set, but now as a foil, which is pretty cool looking. We've got Dedicated Wingmen, Decimator of Dissidents, I Have You Now, which looks okay. Somebody pulled this as a hyperspace, and that looked beautiful, right? Because the way that the border being gone just looked so incredibly clean, with that image in the center, right? We've got Moff Gideon is our rare, right? Good old Giancarlo Esposito coming through, right? Next up, we've got Shuttle ST-149, right? This is Krennic Shuttle. I have a friend, he pulled a foil Ghost prestige card. He told me that if I pulled a foil version of this, right, he would trade it with me because I'm trying to build a Hera deck. So unfortunately, this was not a foil variant, but that's fine, right? So in terms of what we pulled, right, we got Moff Gideon, Shuttle ST-149, Kijimi Patrollers, right, in the hyperspace slot, Blade Squadron B-Wing, Occupier Siege Tank, Leia Organa, Hunting Aggressor, and then here in the back for the hyperspace foil, we've got Corellian Freighter, right, one of the reprints. And then we've got the Phantom 2, right, as a hyperspace foil card. Very exciting. I'm very happy for this. My friend, right, the one that had pulled the hyperspace foil card, or the prestige foil of the Ghost, also pulled a few other variants as well, right, and pulled a thing during the pre-release, right? So the Carbonite was he pulled that earlier, but in this case, right, what he had pulled during the pre-release were more like Spectre related cards, and I was very annoyed with that, because I was like, oh, that should have been my box, because we were like right across from each other too, and he like slid me the box, and then he got that box, and we should have just traded boxes, but that's just how it goes. All right, so we've got Shuttle ST-149, and then all the way in the back we've got the Phantom 2, which also, why couldn't they have given us also Phantom 1 at some point? That would have been nice. I'm gonna put the Phantom 1 into a sleeve just because I like it and I don't want it to get messed up. Right, so that's the first half. We pulled one prestige foil, right? That was the Profundity. Everything else has just been base prestige, right? We're halfway through the distribution, right? That is advertised, right? Is that every 3 you should be getting a prestige foil. That hasn't been the case, right? And I, based off of those weights, I'm not expecting it to be the case, right? I'm expecting one more prestige foil and everything else to just simply be base prestiges. And so I'm just, all I'm hoping for, right, is to pull Ghost, you know, and Sabine's tie. That would be great, right? So this is the one that was 32.454, right? If I could pull those, I would be very happy, just because those are the cards that I want, and I would like to have at least one prestige of them in my deck, right? So all right, we got Vonreg right here is our is the hyperspace leader. We've got CR90 relief runner. We've got First Order Stormtrooper, which looks really cool, right? Especially with the right, you can see it right there, right? That the laser blast coming through with the foiling. The foiling feels really nice, right? Oh, nice. We got the Millennium Falcon as a foil, right? The starter ship right there. I pulled this in the pre-release as well, and people were terrified of it, right? Because I was able to throw, I think at one point I'd had Kaz Han, and R2, I think, on the Falcon in that case. And so that was like a monster of a ship. So yeah, right. We've got General Hux right here. Then we've got Apology Accepted. We've got Tam Rivora, right, which is our rare. Next up, we've got Boba Fett now as a rare as well, right? So we got a double rare pack in this case between the two of them in the foil slot. Next up, we've got the Starhawk now as our prestige card, which is really cool. We've got the Onyx Squadron Brute, Prepare for Takeoff, Black Squadron Scout Wing, right? A great card, you know, with Kaz later on. You're All Clear Kid. We've got Captain Phasma, very cool looking hyperspace. So sad that they really didn't do much more with her. Next up, we've got the Rebellious Hammerhead, which looks very fantastic as a hyperspace foil, in my opinion, right? Just because like the artwork, right? You've got that back there, and then you just have everything just like shining out from it. So it's a hyperspace foil. That's a really good looking card. And then we've got Wingman Victor 3 as the other hyperspace foil card, which is a cool card. So, you know, nothing to be upset about in terms of, I feel like, you know, this is probably much closer to what the average Carbonite booster box is probably going to look like for most people. I don't think, you know, the crazy pulls people were getting is what you should be expecting. And then we had the Starhawk as our base prestige, right? So we've got that right there. Next up, so 32.43443, right? Does it still match? It does. So we can go through right here and see what we get. Right, we've got Wedge again as our hyperspace leader. We've got Evasive Maneuver, which I pulled 3 of in my pre-release, and it was a very useful card, especially when they would, you know, flip a pilot leader onto a unit. Right, you hit them right away with the Evasive Maneuver, and then they can't do anything that turn. You know, they completely wasted that opportunity there. We've got Dorsal Turret, Independent Smuggler, Outer Rim Outlaws, In Debt to Crimson Dawn. We've got Biggs Darklighter, and then here we've got Black One as our foil rare. We pulled Radiant 7 as our base prestige. We've got Special Forces TIE Fighter, Out the Airlock, TIE Dagger Vanguard, Clone Combat Squadron, Face Off, and then we have Direct Hit, which looks pretty cool. In this case, it's the hyperspace foil, and then the other one, nice. We could pull the Invincible as a hyperspace foil, right? Hyperspace foil legendary in this case, right here. So 666 ship, right? Separatist, very pretty card. All right, next up, we've got this pack right here. So this one should be, oh, I need to write down what everything was in there. So we'd had the Invincible was a hyperspace foil. And we had, oh, it was Radiant 7, right? Radiant 7 and Black One. Yeah. So again, pretty okay. But that's part of the gamble, right? In these cases, right? So this one right here, so this one 32.572. So this was the heaviest out of all of the packs, right? It was heavier than the other one by 10 milligrams. So I'm going to say that this is going to be a foil prestige card. I don't think it's going to be a showcase. I don't think it's going to be a serialized card. I think they're just going to be pretty consistently the same, right? So we have, yep, so there we go, right? So, right, we've got our hyperspace leader, which is Asajj. We've got supporting ETA2, TIE Dagger Vanguard, First Order TIE Fighter. We've got the Chimera here as a foil. We've got Wingman Victor 3, right? So we pulled him just now as a hyperspace foil earlier. We've got Data Vault, a rare base in our rare slot. Luckily, we also got pulled Hondo Onaka, right? He's a legendary right here, also in the foil slot, right? So that kind of makes up for pulling a rare base in this case. And then we have get out of here. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. All right, we pulled the Ghost as the foil variant. I'm really happy about that. That is very exciting. Let's put that into here. Now I just need to pull the Phantom, right? Because they make a diptych together, right? Is it diptych? Whatever. Together in those cases, right? But the Ghost looks so good, right? Johnny Morrow did a really good job, I think, drawing the Ghost, right? It looks such a good ship. Perfect. 10-10, no notes. This was a pretty good pack at this point, right? So we got the Ghost, we got Data Vault, we pulled Hondo. Let's see what the rest of the cards are in this case, right? So we've got All Wings Report In, we've got Punch It, Insurgent Saboteur. So this one right here, right? It has an on attack. You may defeat an upgrade. If you pull this, right, and you're running red, put it in your deck, right? Because you can defeat leader units that are pilots with this, right? There's no distinction there, right? You can also defeat other things that may, any kind of pilot or any other thing that kind of upgrade that people play. So in your pre-release, if you come across this and you're playing red, you better keep them and use them. We've got Fly Casual, and then here towards the end, right, we've got Mist Hunter, we've got Dilapidated Ski Speeder, right? The red pops really, really beautifully in this case. And then all the way in the back, we've got Stay on Target, right? We've got, what is that? Red Leader doing the trench run right there, making sure that he stays on target. Very cool. Very happy that I got that Ghost. Woo! That just makes up, the whole box. I'm just kidding. But it does reduce, I think, the sting of the fact that I think this entire box is only going to have 2 foil prestiges, and that more than likely somebody else has a box that has like 4 or 5. Actually, you should be getting 4. It's going to have like 7 or 8 of them in there, right? So this one's 32.410. Yep, similar to what we had before. So this one's just going to be a base prestige, right, with a hyperspace leader. All right, we've got Admiral Akbar right here, Republic Y-Wing, Direct Hit, Attack Run, Special Forces TIE Fighter, Heartless Tactics, Astromech Pilot. Nice. We've got Ahsoka Tano right here as our foil, which looks really cool. We got the Profundity now again, but this time as the base prestige. We've got Royal Security Fighter, Dedicated Wingman. This is a very bright card. It looks somewhat washed out in this case. I wonder if this is they ran out of ink or something on that one. TIE Ambush Squadron. We've got General Hux, U-Wing Lander. We've got Focus Fire, and then finally we've got the Trench Run as a rare hyperspace foil in that case, right? Which looks really cool. So yeah, so 2 profundities. Awesome. All right, so we're at 32. Right. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. I forgot to write everything down that I had pulled in here. What did I get? I think it was just Ahsoka. Yeah, Ahsoka was in the rare slot. We've got the Profundity, and then all the way in the back we pulled Trench Run as our case, right? So we got Ahsoka, we've got the Profundity, And then we have Trench Run as a rare in the hyperspace foil slot. So, yeah, so we got this one right here now, right? Second to last pack from this box. Let's see what we get. So we've got Thrawn right here. We've got Bunker Defender, Zagarian Starhopper, Interceptor Ace. We've got Shuttle Tidarium right here, right? One of the starter deck cards, but as a foil. Clone Combat Squadron. We've got Dengar here. The foiling makes it like pop. Yeah, there you go. There's a good picture of it. It looks really good in person. We've got There's No Escape, right? Very, very ominous. Darth Vader picture there, which is our rare. We've got Tantive 4, is our prestige right there. It's base prestige as expected. We've got Celestin Spacer, Fight Fire with Fire, Power from Pain, Wingman Victor 3. I've got a whole playset now of this guy. We've got Cham Syndulla. Very excited to put him in my Lando deck. We've got Death Space Skirmisher, and then finally we've got Contracted Hunter here all the way at the end. So, yeah, that's what we got in this case. So it was There's No Escape and Tantive 4. Those were what we could expect. All right, we've got that. All right, last pack. 32.464 is what I weighed last time. Coming back in. Yeah, same thing. Let's see what we get. All right, so we've got Luke is our hyperspace leader. We've got Scouting Headhunter, Determined Recruit, Swarming Vulture Droid, X-34 Land Speeder. We've got Mando right there as his pilot unit thing. We've got Trace Martez. We've got Tactical Heavy Bombers, our rare in this case. No way! Interesting. All right, so this one is a foil prestige, right? It's Shuttle ST-149, which my friend is looking for. I'll probably trade him his for the Ghost. Did not expect that because the weight was just so much lower than the other ones. Interesting. I wonder why that is. But, right, we've got this guy right here. Right, Shuttle ST-149. Very cool card. Very nice. Let's wrap it up. So we've got Guerrilla Soldier, Dakar Cargo Frigate, Scouting Headhunter. I think we pulled that earlier as a foil just now. We've got Red Leader, Gold Leader, Prototype TIE Advanced, and then finally we've got Grim Valor, right, as our final hyperspace foil, right? So we got those right there. So Tactical Heavy Bomber is our rare slot thing. We've got Shuttle ST-149, and this one was a prestige foil. So very cool. So in the end, right, how many legendaries did we pull in total? We got the Starhawk. We've got can't see everything here. All right, we got the Starhawk, Hondo. Those are only regular leaders. Then from hyperspace we got is the Invincible one? I don't know. All right, so there were a few, but it didn't really average out, I think, to one per pack, right? I don't think I pulled 12 legendaries in this case, but I did pull, right, still under rate. Why didn't I put this into a... I did pull 3 of the prestige foils. in this case, right, I pulled, wait, no, this is the invincible. Where did I put, oh, here it is. I just put it in the stack. Right, so I pulled, in terms of prestige foils, right, I pulled the Ghost, Shuttle ST149, and the Profundity right there, right? So 12 packs, 3 of these, that comes out to once every 4 in this case right here, right? So there's probably going to be somebody else that's very lucky that gets 1 every 2 or something like that, which is very annoying. But again, that's just, how things go, right? Everything should average out across the whole thing. I still have a few more Carbonite boosters that I can go through. I'm not going to go through them right now, right? This video is already starting to get close to an hour. I only opened 12 packs, but I did do a lot of talking about a lot of things. But I do think, right, other than the Shuttle ST149, I don't really understand why this one was a full 100 milligrams lighter than the others. But I could, to a certain degree of certainty, right, figure out that these two right here were going to be foil packs, right? And if we're looking at the difference, right, it's about a 100 or so milligram difference. The nice thing is I can actually figure that out right now because I pulled a Profundity as a base prestige, so I can get a good idea of what the difference is between the two of them. Where did I put it? It's Tanta 4. Here's the Profundity. Right? So I've got those two. So let's see. I'm gonna take my gloves off for this because this is just annoying. I didn't pull a serialized, so I'm not that worried in this case. All right, so let me just make a side note right here, right? So this is base Profundity. Putting it down, it has a weight of 1.826 grams. Right, so that's base Profundity. Foil Profundity has a weight of 1.967 grams, right? So the difference here is 141 milligrams, right? So in terms of, which is pretty similar, I think, to what I had seen the difference between foil and non-foil and hyperspace and hyperspace foil for set 3, for just like the regular card. So the amount of weight that the foiling adds, right, is about that much. So if you're going through and doing all of that, right, and which makes sense. I mean, it's very interesting just how much heavier the because it's really only like 100 milligram difference when you're looking at a lot of the things, right? Because the average pack mass, and I mean I'll have to look that through. Let me just recalculate the average pack mass real quick of ones that didn't have prestige foils, right? So average is going to be of these and these and these. So the average pack mass of the regular base prestiges all come in at 32.428 grams, which is about 1.5 grams, or 140 milligrams lighter than what we were seeing, right? Because 32.562, right? That's about that much of a difference, right? So I think you can weigh out what the foil ones are. I haven't pulled a showcase yet in these cases, and I haven't pulled a serialized card yet. Hopefully I will, right? Hopefully I don't end up with one of those like massive dud boxes that we've heard about. But we'll have to see, right? So, I mean, to a degree, right, this was a bit of a dud box. Just getting 3 prestige foils is far below rate in this case. Right, like the difference between the Ghost and Shuttle ST149, right, made sense, right, because that was a 3 difference. But Profundity only showed up in the 4th pack, and then the Ghost didn't show up again until the 9th pack, right? There was a 5, pack difference right there where something was off and it didn't come as a foil. But again, right, I was able to figure that out right there. So when I make my next video and I go through all of that and I'm able to work my way through it, we'll be able to, I think, get a lot more concrete data there of what the average pack mass should be for a base Carbonite box, and then what the average mass should be for one that has a foil, one that has a showcase, and then hopefully one that has a serialized card, but we'll see. So yeah, but we'll check that out a different day. I'm not doing that today. So talk to you guys later. So that was pretty exciting, right? Like I packed the Ghost Prestige foil card, which is what I was hoping for the serialized in that case. But you win some, you lose some. I'll take the Prestige foil. Hopefully, in some of the other Carbonite booster boxes I have, I'll get the Phantom and Sabine's tie as well, so can have that nice combo. One thing I was want to point out, right? So even though over $500 of value is what I was able to expect there, right? I didn't look at all the cards. I only looked at the ones that I did think were going to be valuable. But I will put in consideration, this is the Monday post pre-release. TCG player only shops can sell right now. Come this upcoming Friday when it opens up to the public, a lot of these prices are going to drop down. And by then, hopefully I'll have been able to go through and open some more of my Carbonite boxes and even just some of my regular booster boxes, so that, in a week or two, I can give you guys a full report on whether or not you can weigh the hits. Hopefully, right, I get a serialized or a showcase in those just to see it. Oh, there's an airplane flying by. It happens. But hopefully I'll be able to give you guys that, and then I'll give you guys an update in terms of what the total value actually was for this first booster box and all the other ones. So take it with a grain of salt, right, what all of those prices were. I think a lot of the things that were uncommons and rares, and even the Hondo, right, is currently, I think, listed at close to $40. There's no way that Hondo post proper release is going to go for 40. I'm just sorry, all Hondo fans out there. It's not a $40 card at Double Blue. So we'll see how it goes. But thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys watch the other videos that I release over the upcoming days related to the Jump to Lightspeed pre-release.